Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Thursday, February 6, 2025. Still nursing the flu virus, so I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. Where to begin? I'm going to start with this chart here. And this is kind of our 2 to 3 week time horizon chart. Excuse me. I'll say excuse me before I cough. um, the mid 130s sell opportunity through the rest of February, and 104.95 is a buy opportunity not only through the rest of February, but really quite possibly through the second quarter. It is a long-term support level, and you can find it on the weekly chart at 105.03. It is trend support from my perspective into later year. We can round up to new highs quite easily within several months of testing 105.03. Now on the way up, we of course have 127.10. But we've nuanced this a bit. I like to be a more aggressive analyst and make aggressive calls. So there is a way to nuance this if you like. But quite honestly, you've got this sort of island congestion here following the gap south that occurred over a week ago with the DeepSeek, announcement. And so you've got this consolidation. And the way I see it, it in itself has its own channel top coming down at 124.90 that can be sold on a daily basis. And from here, we can fall back to 114.50, the 5/8 Fibonacci, over the next 3 to 5 days or sooner. On the way down, of course, we have 118.57, which is the high of the low. So day traders could sell 124.90 and take profits at 118.57. You could even reverse and go long here, day traders. Breaking 118.57, though, know that 114.50 is likely today, where we can place a daily low. And if we close below 114.50, 104.95, our 2 to 3 week objective, as I mentioned earlier, below the mid 130s, becomes a 3 to 5 day target or sooner. That 104.95 level, able to contain selling, as I say, not only for the week, the month, but even through the second quarter. And so that is kind of the downside. Now, 124.90 is, I'm going to hold to the fact that I think it's our upward pivot point into next week. I think that if we close above 124.90 today, the 134.08 former channel bottom is likely over the next 3 to 5 days. That doesn't mean that we won't have trouble on the way up. You've got 129. I could pick little spots in the upper 120s. 127.10, a channel bottom on the weekly chart, respectable in its own right. On the daily chart, that comes in at 127.12. And then I can back out of a little bit to the daily chart and show that the high for that gap that occurred, about a week and a half ago is 129 even. Now, preceding 129 even, just so you know, if you take a Fibonacci calculation from that all-time high from early January against the low that was put out on Monday, 3/8 back up is 128.34. So I'm going to call this a range. I think it can give market trouble for a good part of the day, maybe the entire day. It is a very day tradable area. I think it's almost incredibly obvious that it's a day tradable area. So I'm going to say that closing above 124.90 is your buy signal into next week. And if we do close above 124.90, 134.08 becomes a 3 to 5 day target. Until then, holding below 124.90, a formation that can be sold, will keep 114.50 in reach over the next 3 to 5 days. And given the fact, that we maintain a 104.95 objective below 134.08, a 2 to 3 week target, you could also sell potentially, it's your call, 124.90 into later February. I have it as a session containment level only, but if there's an area to sell NVIDIA prior to the mid 130s, it is 124.90. Now, there's the possibility, of course, that we push through or open above 124.90 today and push into this 128.34 to 129 even area and then fall away to close the day below 124.90. And that may happen. In which case, I will have looked in the rearview mirror and wished I had called these session containment. But no, the session containment levels are pivot points. This is a settlement based system that I use and that I advise. And so, you don't really know whether you're going to expect 134.08 unless we actually settle today, Thursday, above 124.90. Until then, anything can happen, of course. We can push through 124.90. I think it's a decent pivot point for the day. That if we do, we'll push into this 128.34 to 129 even area. But 128.34, 129 even may actually carry the day. And we could, by the end of the day, fall back and close below 124.90, which will, under that scenario, keep 114.50 in reach over the next 3 to 5 days. I think I've said it all. By the way, on Wednesday, wickedstocks.com put out a stock pick on Qualcomm. You might want to check that out. Maybe as I'm speaking, the earnings came out, but that's setting up for a potential big trade. You can see it for free if you go to wickedstocks.com and take advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you'll also see weekly Apple stock analysis, 2 stock picks a week, daily triple Q, daily SPY, etc., etc. I think that's all I've got. I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with Friday's NVIDIA. You have a great evening.